Right now at noon, election officials in Missouri are reminding voters about voting rules and regulations and why electioneering at polling sites is prohibited.
We're still cloudy, we're still breezy, we are still cold. Warmer weather will eventually get here. We'll have all the details in your forecast coming up.
And the latest on efforts to preserve Ottawa County's historic Ribbon Road.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
A Joplin murder suspect pleads not guilty. This is KOAM News at noon. I'm Elise Noe. Authorities say Scott Burleson stabbed and killed Seth Langford of Carl Junction. The incident happened on March 2nd. Burleson faces charges of second-degree murder, first-degree robbery, and 2 counts of armed criminal action. The Kansas State Fire Marshal says a second person has died from last week's apartment fire in Chanute. Officials say a 90-year-old Jolivon Haymaker died from severe injuries in the hospital on Saturday. Haymaker is the second victim of Thursday's Cornerstone apartment fire. The first is 22-year-old Kaylin Jones, who was found dead at the scene. 7 other residents of the building were injured but have since been released from the hospital. The fire marshal also determined the cause of the fire to be accidental, saying it started due to carelessly discarded smoking materials on a balcony.
And we are cloudy and we are cold still across the area today. Quick look at the Skywatch storm tracker. Here's that big cloud shield now very far west. Greenwood, Elk, Chautauqua counties just starting to see a little bit of sunshine. All of this with that big low pressure system. This is the backside of it and just the cloud cover associated with that. But as you can see, we will eventually begin to clear out as we continue to head into the evening hours and overnight across the area. MoDOT camera 32nd range line again cloudy, still shaking in the wind. We are still breezy out there, but those winds will thankfully begin to die down as well. Same from our camera on top of the Cornell complex in downtown Joplin. Yesterday, started at 38, made it up to 61, so actually relatively close to where we're supposed to be for this time of year. Temperatures around the area not moving much since this morning, still low mid-30s and some upper 30s across the area. As we head into the evening, again, temperatures will eventually make the mid-40s out there with those mostly cloudy skies. And we'll eventually see some clearing late tonight and temperatures falling back into the 30s by midnight once again. We're going to have a complete look at your forecast, including when the warm weather returns and our next round of rain here in just a few more minutes. Elise?
All right, thanks, Chris. The Francis Scott Key Bridge in Baltimore, Maryland collapsed early this morning after being struck by a 958-foot ship, according to the U.S. Coast Guard. Officials say at least 7 people were on the bridge at the time, resulting in them plunging into the water along with multiple vehicles. According to officials, 2 individuals were removed from the water. 1 person refused to get treatment and was not injured. Another person was rushed to the hospital in serious condition. To be the first to see breaking news, weather, and sports, download the KOAM News app. It's available free of charge in the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store. Just search for the KOAM News app. Well, today is the last day of candidate filing in the state of Missouri. The deadline to file for statewide offices, circuit judges, and congressional, state senate, and state representative districts closes at 5 p.m. today. Candidates for U.S. and state offices, along with some judges, are required to file in person with the Secretary of State's office in Jefferson City. A current list of filed candidates can be found on the Secretary of State's website. According to Missouri state statute, electioneering is not allowed within 25 feet of polling sites, meaning no clothing, buttons, or signs that promote a political candidate and stance. If you happen to be wearing a shirt that breaks electioneering rules, poll workers will ask you to change or turn this shirt inside out. Jasper County Clerk Charlie Davis says these rules don't just apply to what's on the day's ballot.
To barrage them with a bunch of signs and literature while you're standing in line to vote kind of gets a little bit frustrating.
Missouri's municipal election date is April 2nd. There are items on the ballot in all southwest Missouri counties. There's also an election in Oklahoma that day. The Downtown Joplin Alliance put out the call on Facebook yesterday for, quote, developers and innovators in reference to the Joplin Union Depot. Solicitations are now being sought for redevelopment of this historic piece of Joplin's past that has sat vacant for decades. Interested parties or developers have until May 31st to submit their solicitation of interest. We have more information on our website, KOAMnewsnow.com, including how to download your solicitation of interest packet. Ribbon Road in Ottawa County is some of the only original road left of Route 66, but a proposal to repair the 3-mile stretch of the historic highway is raising concern. The current proposal calls for milling and repaving of the original road. Miami City and Ottawa County officials, as well as state agencies and Route 66 associations, are involved in the discussions. Those arguing against the proposal say it would destroy history.
So there's been different views on how that should be preserved. Our view as a city is to preserve it as is and keep those original pieces of the Ribbon Road. Milling them, feels like kills them.
Miami officials say they have another meeting scheduled to discuss the future of the road. When we visited Ribbon Road yesterday, we noticed it looked different than it did last week. As you can see, the road is now covered with dirt and gravel and little pavement is visible. Miami officials say they were unaware of work being done, but hope it is dirt laid down to help preserve the road as the proposal is discussed. We reached out to an official with the Oklahoma Department of Transportation to confirm what work is being done. We have not received a response. Coming up, Arvis makes a grant donation to a volunteer ride program in Southwest Missouri. And later, we're making sweet and sour meatballs in the Mr. Food Test kitchen. Well, chances are if you encounter a wild baby animal in its natural setting, the parent isn't too far away. While the inclination is to do a good deed, experts say interacting with the baby animal is one of the worst things people can do.
I know the internet is full of tales of stories about how people may have raised baby squirrels or baby birds or baby whatever. But there are also a lot of stories that didn't make the internet. And those are stories that ended with the death of the young.
Experts say trust the parent of the baby animal to know what it's doing. Well, you might see a lot more skateboards at Missouri Southern. The university yesterday hosted a first drop-in to celebrate the new on-campus skate ramp. Missouri Southern alumnus Nathan Bemo founded the American Ramp Company and wanted to give back to his alma mater. So his company built a ramp.
And if you're a skateboarder, it's like you're kind of choosing between, Missouri Southern and a different university. It's like, well, I skateboard, might as well have a ramp right by my dorm room, So if that kind of pushes over the edge for, kids to come every year here as opposed to somewhere else, that's a win for everybody.
The ramp is located by McCormick Residence Hall. 1 in 7 people face hunger in the Ozarks. That's why Ozarks Food Harvest is thankful for an annual special Easter time donation yesterday. Opal Foods out of Neosho donated more than 200,000 eggs to the charity. Fresh eggs are one of the most requested items from the food bank because they have high protein content, nutrition, and versatility. Ozarks Food Harvest says it's difficult to get protein-dense foods, and this donation will be a huge help.
Storing is not the issue, and distributing is really not the issue. A lot of these eggs will be out by the end of this week, before Good Friday even. So it takes a lot of food to feed a third of the state, which is what Ozarks Food Harvest does. We're thrilled for this, and they're going to be on tables by the end of this week.
Opal Foods has been making this donation since 2008. Well, yesterday, the Arvist Foundation granted $25,000 to the new community ride system in Southwest Missouri. The Economic Security Corporation began CARS, or Community Action Ride System, in response to the loss of the trolley system in the area. The program will serve Barton, Jasper, Newton, and McDonald counties in Missouri. Volunteer drivers are encouraged to participate.
There's a ton of organizations in the Joplin area and Newton County and in all these areas. There's a ton of organizations. We really like to find those organizations that are reaching far, right? So the ones that are making a difference, like we heard Kavanaugh say, in all of the counties she listed. You know, this is one of those that's going to touch a lot of lives and provide access to a service that we've been without now for a year and a half.
The program is set to launch in May, but the community is invited out to a free event on April 13th to learn more about the program. For more information, you can head on over to our website. Of course, that's KOAMnewsnow.com. Still to come on KOAM News at noon, Mr. Food.
Lace up your sneakers and get ready for a dish that'll earn you extra points. It's March Madness, and we've got a guaranteed slam dunk.
But first, warmer temperatures are on the way. We'll talk about when they'll get here in our next round of rain when the KOAM News at Noon returns. Welcome back to the KOAM News at Noon. So it was cloudy and it was cold and it was breezy this morning, and well, it's cloudy and cold and breezy this afternoon as well, but it's going to get a little bit better. Let's take a quick look outside. Starting here, this is the MoDOT camera, 32nd and range line in Joplin. It is looking back to the west. It is looking at clouds. It is looking at cars. It is looking at itself kind of rocking back and forth because it's still a bit breezy. But over the next couple of 3 hours, these gusty winds are going to start to ease up a bit on us, and then it won't feel as miserable as it kind of is out there. Cloudy skies also from our camera on the Cornell Complex, downtown Joplin, and same from the KDOT camera at 69. Right by the Kansas Crossing Casino. It is looking back roughly to the northeast. It is cloudy, it's breezy, it is cold. Our camera 7th and range line, it's just several views of the same cloudy skies, but at least we're consistent here. 35 in Joplin, feels like 25. That west-northwest breeze at 17, gusting still upwards of 24, but that's down from the gusts we had this morning, and it'll continue to ease up a bit as we head into the afternoon. Cloudy in Pittsburgh, 34, 25 is what it feels like with that west breeze at about 13. We're getting that westerly breeze. We're on the backside of that big low pressure system attached to that cold front that has moved on out to the east of the Mississippi, and it left behind cold air. And these temperatures have not really moved much since this morning. They've gone up about 3 degrees across the board from where we were 6 hours ago. So not a lot of movement out there because that cloud shield is keeping these temperatures pretty steady. Now, the good news is the clouds will eventually break up a bit. How early they break up will determine how warm you're going to get, but we're looking to be about 45 today. I know that is hard to believe. That's still another 10 degrees to go. I think we're still going to make about low to mid 40s out there. Further west, as the clouds clear, you get a little more sunshine. You're going to be a little warmer. We'll have those west winds 10 to 20, and they will start to calm down as we head into the afternoon. Heading into this evening, number one, it's very cold, upper 20s out there, partly cloudy skies, north breeze now, 5 to 10. But the other concern is the widespread frost. So if you've got any plants, I know we've had some warm weather, a lot of plants starting to bloom. If you can cover them up, bring them inside. You'll want to do that not just tonight, but tomorrow night as well. Now tomorrow, we're warmer, but still below average, 55, partly cloudy skies, and we'll actually have mostly clear skies to start, few clouds through the afternoon, and we'll start to clear out again by tomorrow evening with a northeast breeze around 5 to 10 miles an hour. As we head down the road, we continue to warm. We're now at or just a wee bit above normal by Thursday. Temperatures continue to climb. Now we're pushing near 80 as we head into the holiday weekend and next week, but as you see, we also have a whole nother system that'll be here Sunday, so we could see a few morning showers on Sunday. We're expecting a pause through the afternoon, which is good for those Easter egg hunts. Then they'll return in the evening, and we'll see additional thunderstorm chances as we head into Monday and Tuesday. And this system also going to give us a little kick in the rear and knock those temperatures back down as we head into next week. So we're still in that transitionary phase between winter and summer here in the 4 states. And you folks at home know we only have 2 seasons, and we're balancing between those two right now. So, but at least as we head into the weekend, looking pretty good.
Yeah, I'm ready to fast forward to the weekend because today is just freezing.
It is ridiculous outside.
So
I did not even want to go outside this morning, but you got to do what you got to do. And here we are. Now we have to go back outside and go home.
I know.
Or should we?
All right, thanks, Chris. Well, stick around. We're making sweet and sour meatballs in the Mr. Food Test kitchen. We'll be right back. Well, with March Madness in full swing, today's Mr. Food recipe is perfect for sitting back and enjoying the game. This easy-to-make dish is a guaranteed slam dunk. Howard shows us the recipe for sweet and sour meatballs in the Mr. Food Test kitchen.
Right now, we're in the middle of March Madness. So whether you're a diehard college basketball fan or you simply love nibbling on something really good, we've got just the thing for you. They're sweet and sour meatballs. And to make them, all we do is combine some ground beef, an egg, a splash of water, a good amount of breadcrumbs, and a few seasonings. We give this a good mix and roll it into cocktail-sized meatballs. Once that's done, we mix together some cocktail sauce, grape jelly, that's the sweet part, and for the sour part, we add some fresh lemon juice. The meatballs will go into the sauce, and after they cook low and slow, they're done. And whether you serve these as an appetizer during the playoffs or over noodles as a hearty main dish, you can't go wrong. The recipe for what we call sweet and sour meatballs is online now, so you can keep your taste buds and your gang excited throughout the games. I'm Howard of the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we found a tongue-tingling way for you to say, ooh, it's so good.
You can find this recipe along with a lot more good food from the Mr. Food Test Kitchen online. Just going over to our website. Of course, that's KOAMnewsnow.com. Now here's a look at the 4-state market prices.
All right, so we've got ourselves that chilly day today, a little bit warmer tomorrow. Temperatures warm up nicely toward the weekend, near 80 degrees. More showers Sunday, a few thunderstorms Monday. That next system cools us right back down, though. Look at next Tuesday night, 29. So if you bring those plants in, cover them up tonight, tomorrow night, you may have to repeat this process next week as well. But at least between now and then, it's going to be relatively warm.
We need that rain, but we don't need that temperature.
We don't need the tumble that goes along with it.
No.
We just need the rain.
Absolutely. All right. Thanks, Chris. Well, coming up tonight at 5, today is Purple Day. It's a day recognized as a global effort to raise awareness about epilepsy. This evening, we'll learn how this condition led one woman on a long medical mystery. Plus, Crowder College hosts its annual job fair and career expo. Over 60 area businesses signed up to take part in the event. And a woman in Joplin is on the hunt for a book given to her by her father that was accidentally donated to a thrift store in 2022. We'll learn more about her efforts to relocate her book. Join us for those stories and a lot more tonight at KOAM News at 5.
Certainly a lot of interesting stories coming
Absolutely.
up at 5, and hopefully it'll be a pinch milder by 5.
Oh, I hope so.
Like I said, I think we should just hibernate through the winter.
I
That's what
agree.
we need to do in the Northern Hemisphere is just hibernate through winter.
Well, that's the news for now. Thank you for joining us on KOAM News at noon. We'll see you right back here at 5. Until then, have a great rest of your day.